Hi guys, welcome back to Christ Whisper Tarot. Today we're going to be looking at your next love and see any information that comes through about them, and also perhaps even a timing. So let's jump into the reading. Okay, here are the piles. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Take your time selecting the piles and then we'll jump straight into the reading. So pile 1, let's start your reading. We have the Chariot, the World reversed, and the 7 of Swords. So this person who's coming in is someone who is very close to you in terms of your environment. They have a very good ability to sort of camouflage into the environment they're in. They're also someone who's very ambitious and may enjoy travel as well, but in terms of their proximity to you, they are very close. So it could be someone you know or someone from your area that you're currently living in, but it is definitely someone who is currently in the background but is having an idea of who you are and where you come from. Not so much stalker vibes, but it is someone who may be sort of checking in on you, or you might go to the same locations, and so they see you once in a while as well. We also have March here, so potentially you could be meeting them in March, or the relationship may start in March. And we also have Wreath, sorrow over a loss. And I feel like from their end, they feel like they're not sort of worth your time, and so they're sort of not quite approaching you at this stage. And the main thing that they're currently working on is to speak with confidence. And that's something that they are currently working on and trying to evolve so that they can sort of get the confidence to approach you in that sense as well. But we'll get a few other cards to see any additional messages of who this person is and how you may encounter them. But yes, definitely there's someone who has their eye on you, or at least are intrigued by you, and so they are willing to approach you. We have Temperance here. So yes, they're still in the stage where they're sort of pondering on whether to approach you or not. They're also thinking about whether or not they need to put, sort of steps in to seem more attractive, or trying to, I guess, earn your attention in some capacity. But as a person, they're definitely someone who is the Knight of One energy, where they're willing to, pursue things that they want to pursue. They're quite ambitious. They also are very much a people person and an extrovert, but I think you just make them very shy in terms of, them being able to approach you in that sense as well. And we also have the 7 of Wands here, so they could also be a fire sign. We do have a lot of fire elements coming up here as well, but in general they could be someone who is very protective of you, someone who, their love language could be, words of affirmation or gift giving, but they definitely are someone who approaches things from a very clear perspective. I think overall you might find that they sort of start off as seeming to you as an introvert, but then as you get to know them better, they sort of become more extroverted, which is their original personality. One thing that you might be able to notice them by is their, I guess, appearance-wise. They might have a larger forehead, or they might like wearing a lot of hats or hoodies or things like that a lot of the time because of, comfort, especially with a lot of the imagery that we have here of the panda wearing a bit of a headband, and same thing with the Chariot card as well, having a headpiece of some kind that they tend to wear. In terms of their approach towards you, let's have a few more ideas on how they would approach you. So we have the 10 of Cups, the Hanged Panda, and the Three of Wands. So once they are, you know, in their element, they'll sort of suss out whether you're interested enough first before they start pursuing you. But their main goal is to, you know, spend more time with you, go on more adventures, go on, you know, do certain activities together. That's sort of how they get to know you, and you get to know them a little bit better and their energy. But it feels like they definitely are a little bit reserved in the beginning, or just very cautious in how they choose to approach you, because they don't want to get it wrong and they don't want to sort of scare you away. And so you might notice them probably definitely like stalking Insta, or like stalking social media sort of vibe to them, where they sort of take their time getting to know you, but once they are feeling comfortable with you, they get to express themselves a lot better, and they become a lot more open to giving and receiving. It feels like to begin with, they're just very much in their head with how they choose to approach you, and also a lot of like over analyzing and making sure that they don't take any wrong steps. They sort of want to blend into your life and not sort of come at you out of nowhere and make you feel uncomfortable. So they try to make sure that they are approaching you in the right sense and making sure that you're in the right headspace as well before they try and make any moves. But once they are very comfortable, by the end of it, they're going to be very much pursuing you with all their might, and being very much an Eight of Wands energy, where they feel comfortable and powerful and open to giving as much love to you as possible, and also making sure that you are, you know, emotionally satisfied and comfortable, and you have a good approach with each other. So we're just going to pull a few extra pieces of information stickers as well. Just whatever comes through, whatever we can pick up. So we do have this circumstance, we sort of bump into each other at random, and it could be that you might know this person because of that, or have a vague idea of this person. But yes, they're very much, once they get very comfortable, they do enjoy spending a lot of time with you with certain activities. Food might be one of them, but making sure that they enjoy time with you and make sure that you're having a lot of fun is also really important. And I think this explains the first stage of getting to know you, where they're sort of stressed out about how they come and approach you, but once they get comfortable, they get comfortable. So that's just something to be aware of. And again, gift giving is one of the things that they enjoy the most in terms of their approach to you, but it is something that takes a lot of time with it. And again, you might find that the initial phase of getting to know this person is going to be a bit uncomfortable and a bit unsure, because they are not completely open with you, and so it can be a little bit difficult to begin with, but it does get easier with time. And again, physical affection is something that is very important for this person. Words of affirmation, saying I love you on a regular basis, is something that they certainly would do. And this is someone who is completely brand new, no exes in this case. And again, it may lead to something a little more special down the line, but take it as it resonates. And again, they feel like you complete them in some capacity. And again, a lot of emotional support with that as well. And potentially because of the other cards that came up, I'm not picking up necessarily that they are a toxic person, but it could be the reason they're so cautious is because of a toxic individual that they had in their past, which would explain the cautiousness of approaching the situation. So that was your reading, pile one. Hope you enjoyed it. Please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Welcome, pile two, to your reading about your next person in love. And we have the Ace of Swords, the Strength card, and the Seven of Wands reversed. So I feel like at the moment your energy is someone who is very confident and has a very clear mindset about who they want and who they want to pursue them and their type. You're someone who has a very clear idea about who is meant to enter your life and who isn't, and you're very comfortable being single at any given point in time because you know what works for you and you know you're not going to accept anything less. And I do feel like you're very open to receiving new people in your life, and that's going to lead to a lot of new possibilities. Now, in terms of the additional cards that we have Camel, Persevere, and you will overcome a problem. And I do feel like that's the mindset that you have, is that even if things don't go to plan, you're still happy with approaching life with the mindset that you know what is good for you and you're not willing to sacrifice anything from that. And that's going to lead to a lot of new possibilities when it comes to love, because it means that you know your worth and you feel confident, which is confirmed with this. But I feel like with this group in particular, the person that may end up approaching you is going to be very similar to the type that you are interested in. And that's going to be something that is very, very significant for you, because I don't feel like this is going to be someone who is not worth your time. This is going to be someone who is very much deserving of you and the energy that you provide. More than anything, I feel like you're going to match well when it comes to your mindset. I feel like both yourself and whoever you choose to spend your time with is going to be someone who matches your energy of, you need someone who I guess has the same approach to life as you do, and is willing to give everything they have. We did get the Ten of Swords, and what this represents is that your single life is ending, is essentially the biggest vibe that I'm getting. And I felt like Spirit wanted me to say that first before I kept shuffling, because yeah, a lot of cards wanted to come out after that. So yes, so you don't need to you can keep manifesting, but know that those manifestations, especially with that broken mirror, are coming to fruition, because you are getting to the point in time where things are moving. Because we have the Hanged Man reversed, and we also have the Fool card. So we are starting a new chapter. We are opening up to new possibilities, and things are going to be shifting more rapidly than you would ever expect. So yes, we are moving on from times where we felt uncomfortable or that things weren't working out. And again, Strength card again, it is your energy. I feel like we are definitely approaching a time with the Knight of Pentacles as well, that's slow and steady towards a much more grounded goal compared to, you know, dating for the sake of dating. So that is definitely what is coming in for you as well. But clearly you guys have been working on yourselves for a long time, making sure that you're having the right mindset about things and making sure that you're having the right headspace when it comes to moving forward. And that is very, very clear. So in terms of the person who is coming in, we have the Eight of Wands, the Four of Pentacles reversed, we have the Ten of Cups, the Knight of Wands, and the Devil card. So this person who is coming into your life is definitely someone who is going to show up out of nowhere, especially with the Devil card. Someone who attracts you very, very instantaneously. Someone who is very much your type, is a temptation because of that. I'm not getting anything negative about this, because you are a very strong person to begin with, so you would know what is right for you and not. And I felt like you've gone through a lot of transitions in your life to get to that point as well. And with the Knight of Wands, this is going to be someone who is, that person is going to pursue you. And they're going to do it very quickly. They're going to literally say exactly how they feel as it is. They're not going to sort of be, you know, smooth talking per se, but they're definitely going to be very blunt with their approach towards you. So they'll just come up to you and either ask for your number or say they're interested, and that's just going to build things up later down the track. And with the Four of Pentacles, they're someone who is very generous, and I feel like gift giving potentially is one of their love languages, but ultimately they are very open to accepting anything that you have to offer. And I feel like they are just wanting anything to do with you, and so they are willing to drop other things to spend time with you, and they're very much all about approaching you in the best sense. And that is very clearly coming through. Any other information about this individual who's going to turn up out of nowhere for pile 2? We have the Tower. This is definitely turning up out of nowhere. It is going to be explosion and fireworks, especially with the Eight of Wands as well that came out. So yeah, explosions and fireworks for this person. It is going to be like your type on a plate is what I'm getting for this group in particular, so definitely look forward to that. And yeah, Eight of Swords. So you are partially not going to see this coming because you are focused on something completely different. You're essentially standing there blindfolded because you're focused on something else. And so when they approach you, it's going to be out of nowhere because your focus is on something completely unrelated. So the vibe I'm getting is you're going to be, for example, if you're, you know, studying at the library by yourself, you're focused on your work, and as you're going to sort of grab something, you know, you end up meeting this person for whatever reason. It's one of those things where you can't really see it coming, and it's meant to be that way because you're meant to, again, get an offer out of nowhere. So just be ready for, sort of use your judgment and follow that, but know that take a chance when you can. I know you're being very open to receiving from other people, especially from before with the Seven of Wands reversed, which is excellent. But yeah, try and relax into new situations as much as possible, so that you can enjoy the rewards to your weight for this person. We'll just look at the stickers for any other information that comes through. I pulled out a lot of cards, more than I expected. So yeah, it can be a meet cute, a romantic meeting of some sort. You could be someone who enjoys art or creativity, and share that with each other. You could be very similar in terms of your interests, or when you're sitting together, your body language could mimic each other later down the track. Again, physical affection is very important, and I feel like if there is anything that is difficult from the past, I feel like you heal each other to some extent as well. We also got the ring, so potentially this could lead to a long-term commitment. We also have, again, romance and gift giving with those flowers. It could be that you have similar builds, or one of you slightly taller than the other. Again, love at first sight, potentially for some of you. Lots of physical affection. What else do we have? You might enjoy going on coffee dates together. if that's something you're interested in. Or it could start off with a lot of coffee dates. You could be both foodies as well. You might enjoy the outdoors or sitting at a park or enjoying time together. And yeah, so it does seem like physical affection is one of your love languages, or sort of overlapping love languages. Because in a lot of the cards, it seems to be quality time and physical affection. So that could be it for you. But that was your reading, pile 2. Hope you enjoyed it. Please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Welcome, pile 3, to your reading. We start off with the Fool, the 8 of Wands reversed, and the 10 of Swords reversed. Jeez. I feel like either yourself or the next person who's coming in for love has gone through a massive breakup, which you're sort of iffy with, in terms of it wasn't necessarily a clean breakup, it was definitely a very messy breakup. And so things are not so much smooth sailing, but you are looking forward to the future that comes on. We also have Carriage, so a journey, either physical or mental, and it does feel like one of you is going through a very big journey. It feels like mainly yourself who's going through a very big journey in terms of moving forward from this situation, but know that happiness is definitely coming in for you as well. And it is one of those things where it takes a lot of time and effort to sort of recover from not only what happened in the past, but sort of learning from it and being able to move forward with a clear mindset. And I feel like that's the process that we're currently going through, and moving towards happiness either way. But yes, definitely a very big journey. But know that you have it within yourself to create a completely new environment. You have the ability to move forward with clarity, and also be able to make the best out of a situation and create a new life for yourself and move forward in a way that is important for you. So, any other messages for this group? Pile 3. So the first stage of this is we have the Hierophant, the King of Wands, the 6 of Swords, and the 5 of Wands. More than anything, I feel like it's going to take a while before you start a new relationship, especially with the Hierophant. The Hierophant, because it is a major arcana, it is about learning and the ability to see yourself as the King of Wands as being powerful, knowing exactly what you want, knowing your worth, and being able to sort of sort through that process is something that is going to take a lot of time to sort of get back to where things were, especially after the 10 of Swords reversed as well. More than anything, it feels like this is going to be a slower journey, but it's a mental journey more than a physical one. And it's going to be up to you, the sort of processes you go through. It is going to be sort of a back and forth and a messy process, but know that you can definitely get out the other side to calmer shores and to restart this love journey that you're going to be on. So, who is the next person for group 3? Who is the next person for group 3? We have the 8 of Wands reversed, the 9 of Wands, and the 2 of Swords reversed. Now, these aren't bad cards, to be honest. They are actually a lot better given the circumstances. So the next person who's going to come in is going to be more along the lines of a acquaintance to friends to lovers situation, because it's not going to be sparks straight up. It's going to take time to grow and mature and, you know, go through the ups and downs that come with it with the 9 of Wands, but it's going to be at a pace that is comfortable and is something that you can work with. It's not going to be out of your hands, or it goes too fast, or you don't have time to think it through. You have the ability to sort of process things much easier because you've gone through the work in your own head. The Two of Swords generally is a decision to make, but it's more for this group, I feel like it's less of a decision to make and more of an instinct of what works. So you don't need to necessarily force the situation. You can simply enjoy it for what it is, and that's going to give you the most amount of comfort for this person who is going to come in. And they're definitely going to come at a time where, again, you've gone through the journey, you're more comfortable with yourself. And I feel like this is something that has been decided by Spirit as to the timing of when you would meet this person, because I feel like Spirit is definitely controlling the timing more than anything, because they want you to be in a place where you're comfortable more than anything else, because they know that the journey hasn't been easy, so they want to assist by making sure that things go at the pace that is comfortable. And again, either yourself or them could have gone through a breakup prior to meeting, but what they provide is something that is worth more than anything, because they're going to give you the ability to enjoy life and not feel stressed out, not feel like you don't have enough, or that you are enough. I feel like it is sort of an opposites attract situation, given the Two of Pentacles here with this person. You might find that they definitely sort of lead the relationship, but they do it in a way that is balanced. And I feel like this person is someone who definitely does a lot of journaling or self-work, especially with the Hermit card that popped up as well. So they're going to be someone who really focuses on themselves, has a deep understanding of who they are and what they bring, and also is someone who is very reflective of past situations and making sure that they learn and move forward. So definitely love that. Again, with this journey, it does feel like they're someone who is going through either going through a similar process or has previously gone through a similar process, so is very understanding of the situation as well. And it could be something that you bond over later on, but more than anything, this person is someone who does a lot of hard work. And again, we have the Tower reversed, and I see this in terms of timing, so it's not going to be out of the blue that this person shows up, but it will be at a time that is significant for you and creates a bit of a turning point for you as well. So we did get this Six of Swords card of moving to calmer waters, and I feel like the journey is going to be quite similar, where you are on your way to move to calmer waters, and then you end up encountering a situation that this person is involved in, and so things sort of progress from there. But it's not going to be an uncomfortable journey, and I feel like you definitely are able to explore each other in terms of personality, in terms of growth. There's definitely a greater chance of growth and exploration with this group, and I feel like you will go through a few cycles with this person as well. And I don't mean like breaking up and then getting back together. I mean in terms of mental growth cycles, so to speak. So let's have a bit more information with the stickers in terms of how this could come about. I don't think that one wanted to come out. Oh, interesting. So potentially this could be your future spouse for some of you. Again, enjoying time together is quite significant for this group. Oh, my nails aren't working. It could be that you go on a lot of adventures together, or activities could be very significant. Again, with some of the cards, it could also be very nature inspired. And it could be that some of you had to go through a lot of karmic cycles to get to where you are. It could be that this person is in fact your soulmate, and spending time with them brings a lot of comfort as well. And again, I feel like physical affection is something that is there, but it feels like there's a high amount of emotional intimacy with this group in particular. And yeah, so a lot of physical affection and comfort for this group, which is really nice to see. Surprises is something that could be significant for this group as well. This person could be initiating a lot of surprise events or giving surprise gifts or things like that. So that's something to look forward to. But that was your reading, pile 3. Hope you enjoyed it. Please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Hello, group 4. Welcome to your reading. So you guys got a few more cards than the other groups, but it was a longer time to shuffle. So we had the Page of Cups, the 9 of Cups, the 2 of Swords reversed, and the Tower. So, more than anything with this group, especially with the Tower, it does feel like you've gone through a very tedious journey in terms of relationships in general. Because with the Page of Cups, it feels like finding a solid friend group, finding someone who you connect to on a deeper level, finding a soulmate is something that has been on your mind for a very long time. But the journey towards those things has been a longer process. And it feels like you have gone through a manner of a lot of self-work, a lot of self-reflection, moving towards, being confident and comfortable in your own skin. But it does feel like this journey has been a long one and a tedious one in terms of getting the right people in your life and figuring out which way things are going to go. But we do have this red string of fate that is coming through for this group in particular. So there's a lot of karmic cycles I feel like that this group has gone through already. And that's what is leading to the finale, which is the Tower moment that is coming through. And you're not meant to know who this person is or how they're going to come through in your life or what changes need to be made. It's sort of on a need to know basis according to Spirit. So that's the reason a lot of the time you might do a lot or have a lot of tarot readings and they will not give you a time frame, potentially because you are not meant to know in the moment until this event takes place. But what I am getting is high potential for things to go down. We have light-hearted, carefree time. And I feel like that's what you just have to exude, that energy, and also a box which you will receive a gift. So know that in this journey that is coming through, things are meant to be the way they are for a reason. So simply enjoy the journey for what it is at the moment, but know that great things are coming for you. And we have the third eye chakra with I see and connect to the universe. So again, your love life is very much fated, so to speak. You might find that in this journey you have come to accept that over time, and that this journey is something that will take its time to evolve at the rate that it's meant to be. But let's have a look about your love life. That was very quick. Again, Four of Swords, being patient, being very accepting and understanding that this is going to be a process that is going to happen and things will evolve as they evolve. With the Page of Swords, I'm seeing this as understanding the karmic dynamics that are meant to happen for you. and understanding that the process is going to be one that benefits you in the long term and not necessarily something to be feared or be uncomfortable with and frustrated with, because it is part of the journey and it is part of the learning process. And you might find that the vision of what you want isn't necessarily what you're going to end up getting, simply because it is you're meant to go through the motions and go through the process with a lot of this. We have the Four of Wands, the World card, the Six of Cups, the King of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. So whoever you're going to be paired with in terms of your love life, which is definitely coming at some point in time and you won't know when, but you will match up almost perfectly with this person. Your mindset, your patterns will all sort of align very much to what you desire. And it's not so much the physical appearance of a person or the way you want to be approached or way you want to be, shown love, but from a mental standpoint, that this person understands you to a core, at your core values, and understands you in terms of your emotions, in terms of your mentality. You balance each other out from that perspective as well, but there is a very solid match that can be seen with you two. And again, with the Four of Wands and Six of Cups, potentially fated soulmates, but I do see more than anything that this person is going to bring a lot of joy and happiness. For some of you, also involving healing your inner child, also being able to connect to past lives to some capacity as well. But there is a very deep connection, and you can almost see it as the red string of fate to some extent as well. But it is, when you do meet them, it is going to feel like you feel completed. Like you go through the cycles and you get to the World card and you feel completed. Because it does feel like, to begin with, there has been a part of yourself that you feel has been missing, or that you are missing out on certain connections, but they will come in time. Any other messages for this group on who this person is? We have the Three of Cups. Sorry, forgot what I was reading. Strength card, the Three of Swords reverse, the Eight of Swords, the Fool card, and we have the Death card as well. So lots of things happening on this journey for this group. The one thing I'm picking up on straight away is spending time with people who you can have fun with, whether it's friends or family. Spending time with people that you can have fun with, enjoy life with. That's going to be very important when it comes to meeting this person. Going through the motions of that journey is very, very significant, because it's going to lead to better times ahead. And with the Strength card, being very sure of yourself, with the Nine of Cups energy that you already exude, plus the Strength energy of knowing your worth and knowing your value and not trying to adapt for someone else's benefit, and being confident in your own skin, is something that is going to be very significant in terms of gaining this meeting. And I understand with how things have been going previously based on the cards in this group, the Eight of Swords and the Three of Swords reversed, feeling like there's nothing in your power. Learn to accept that and simply go with the flow, be on the journey, be lighthearted and carefree. That's what's significant at this time. Don't try and force the situation. Don't go into a panic that things aren't happening at the pace you want it to. Simply enjoy the journey for what it is, and that is how it's meant to be. because we do have the Fool card and the Death card. So know that the process is going to help you evolve and help the situations flip on its head and lead to better times and better outlook to life as well. So that's something that you can simply look forward to. Can we get a few other characteristics of this person? The Tower again. So potentially someone who is very tall in terms of physical stature. The King of Wands and the Nine of Cups. They are at the same frequency as you. They are confident in themselves. They love the energy and power they have. They embrace that energy and put that forward. We got the King of Swords and King of Wands for, I'm assuming, this person, which indicates that they are very intelligent. They have a lot of creativity. They have a lot of passions. In terms of work, they're following that passion and making sure that that comes through as well. They're not someone to sort of shy away from the spotlight. They very much enjoy it. More than anything, this is someone who is different from what they appear. I feel like at first appearance, they sort of are the King of Swords energy, but the more you get to know them, they become the King of Wands. So think of the color palette in both of these being very stark to very colorful. They sort of are very different from their physical appearance or the way they initially present. And I feel like they are also going through the shock of meeting you, which is why they are a little more, I guess, sensitive, or they just don't know how to react because they're going through the motions internally, which is very interesting to see. But let's get a few other bits of information with the stickers. Oh, one fell on the floor. I have to pick that up. Where'd you go? Yeah. Okay. So we have going on a bike together, going on the same journey, again, being on the same wavelengths, being able to adjust to things that are happening. We have this, which is again divine timing. You can't control the motions of a clock. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. You simply have to wait. You definitely might find physical comfort is something that is very significant for this group. Again, same thing. You could have very different colorations to this person. You might mimic their body language at times later down the track. Again, physical affection. What else do we have? You might enjoy, you know, games that check on logic, or, you know, try and be mentally intrigued by this person as well. I'm not sure if some of you are like homebodies, but like we have a lot of cards where you're sort of being hugged from the back or wrapped up in something, but definitely physical affection again, but being able to embrace things. This is going to be a brand sparkling new person in your life. It could be starting off in the relationship, one person's more enthusiastic than the other, or one's more shy compared to the other, which leads to a little bit of a panic attack, which is very cute. Ooh, some interesting ones. We have this mirror that's fogged up, which again, divine timing. You're not meant to know who this person is, or any identifiable factors, but it is meant to be. But it also, this could be significant for a past life of some sort with this person. Again, lots of hugs with a lot of these groups. Hugging might just be something that you're very comfortable doing with this person. Again, we have that string of fate for each other. Hand holding. I think in terms of the dynamic, I feel like it's very balanced, because nothing seems like someone's initiating it necessarily. It does feel like it's reciprocated for the most part. And again, falling head over heels in love, which is perfect. Anything else that was popping up? No. So that's your reading for pile 4. Hope you enjoyed it. Please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.